Hello and welcome to a brand new flight review. It's been a long time since I last uploaded, as the pandemic has restricted me from traveling. But today I'm going on a flight for the first time in nearly 2 years, flying from Hong Kong to Australia via Singapore. Today I'm traveling on Singapore Airlines. They are often regarded as the best airline in the world, so I'm looking forward to experiencing it myself. As I still have some time before my flight, I decided to go plane spotting. Be sure to give me a follow on Instagram where I post pictures from my spotting trips. With about an hour to go before boarding, I headed to the gate. The aircraft taking me to Singapore today is a 6-year-old Airbus A350-900, registration 9 Victor Sierra Mike Alpha. Now, as we board our flight, there is something worth taking notice with Singapore Airlines A350s. You see, there's 3 versions of layouts on the Airbus A350. Layout 1 is the most common of the 3, featuring 42 business class seats, 24 in premium economy, and 187 standard economy seats. Layout 2 has only business class and economy class seats. So if you're planning on flying in premium economy, be prepared that this may not be an option. And last but not least, Layout 3 is only used on ultra-long routes such as Singapore to New York, which only features business and premium economy class. The first leg to Singapore today has the Layout 1 version with all 3 classes. In times of COVID, Singapore Airlines is providing care kits containing face masks and wipes, which can be taken before boarding the aircraft.
Will be the last second.
Okay, thank you. First impressions were great. I loved the color choice and the seats were quite comfortable. Pillows and blankets are already provided at the seats. The seat features a personal TV, a coat hanger, control for the IFE, multiple charging ports, cup holder, and a foldable tray table. There's also a seat pocket and 2 additional smaller ones. Legroom was decent enough for a 3-hour flight.
aboard Singapore Airlines, as the safety equipment on this aircraft may differ from that on other aircraft. Please give us your attention as we bring you through this important safety briefing and on a journey through Singapore. Together until you hear a click. Tighten it by pulling on the strap.
Our flight today takes us southwest out of Hong Kong, crossing the South China Sea and southern Vietnam. We then flew over the coast of Malaysia before making a sharp turn over the Indonesian island of Batam and into Singapore. Flight time was 3 hours and 15 minutes, cruising at 40,000 feet. Two hours of free Wi-Fi is available to premium and economy class passengers. If that is not enough, further Wi-Fi is available for purchasing. "15 minutes after takeoff, food and drink service was commenced. Right after booking your flights with Singapore Airlines, you can already view the in-flight menu from their website or app. On this flight, there's a Western option and a Singaporean one. Now here's where I think Singapore Airlines deserve their 5-star rating. If you are a vegetarian or have any special dietary requests, there's a countless number of special meals to choose from dietary to religious and vegetarian options. For tonight, I opted for the Singaporean option. It was rice noodles with seafood. The meal also comes with a bread roll and mango pudding. It was quite tasty and I really liked the dessert in particular. The flight went past quickly and we were already descending over the Malaysian coast.
to your landing stations now, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please fasten your seatbelt and drop your window sheets. Thank you.
And welcome to Singapore Changi Airport. We arrived 30 minutes ahead of schedule. Now, as we disembark, I'd like to apologize in advance because I didn't actually plan to film the second leg, as it was also on an Airbus A350. I did not realize the other aircraft had a complete different cabin design, and so there will be no boarding footage unfortunately. However, I did manage to get a few pictures of the cabin. On this leg to Adelaide, Australia, we're travelling on the Layout 2 version of Singapore Airlines Airbus A350, which features only business and economy class seats. As you can see, the seats are different from the previous, but just as nice and comfortable. The IFE screen for this layout is a wider and newer one. However, the legroom seems to be less spacious than layout 1. Blankets and pillows are already provided on the seats.
Welcome aboard Singapore Airlines. As the safety equipment on this aircraft may differ from that on other aircraft, please give us your attention as we bring you through this important.
Our flight today on the second leg took us southwest out of Singapore. We then crossed the Indonesian islands of Sumatra and Java, crossing the Indian Ocean before reaching Western Australia and making a descent over South Australia and into Adelaide. Flight time was 6 hours and 6 minutes, cruising at 40 and 41,000 feet. Now let's have a closer look at the seat features. There's the usual USB charging ports, a small storage space in the middle, a cup holder, and foldable tray table. There's also a few additional seat pockets. With COVID, there's only the safety card and air sickness bag given. There's also a power outlet to be shared with your seat neighbor. Now let's take a look at the in-flight entertainment. I had high expectations for it and it certainly didn't disappoint. For starters, it was the most responsive IFE screen I've ever used. It was also easy to navigate, with endless choices of up-to-date movies from various genres. There's also a large selection of TV shows available, including HBO. For those who prefer listening to music, there's a selection from classical, jazz, pop, and even podcasts to tune into. The only complaint for me with the IFE is not having a tail camera, which is a unique feature for the A350. With around 2 hours to go before landing, breakfast was served with a Western and Singaporean choice. I went for the Singaporean option, which was a Singapore Malaysian classic nasi lemak. The meal also comes with a bread roll and yogurt. The food was really tasty, but too heavy and spicy for breakfast in my opinion. The first glimpse of light soon followed as we began our descent into Adelaide. We arrived in Adelaide 35 minutes ahead of schedule.
Welcome to Adelaide, ladies and gentlemen. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign is off. All passengers are reminded to practice safe distancing when leaving the aircraft.
As we disembark, let's make a sum up of our flight experience with Singapore Airlines. So to answer the question whether Singapore Airlines is a 5-star airline or not, I would definitely say yes. Beginning with the service, I found the crew on both flights to be very professional, attentive and polite. The flight attendants being mostly Singaporeans mean they could speak multiple languages including Mandarin, Cantonese, English and Indonesian. And therefore communication was not an issue even for non-English speakers. The overall experience was pretty much flawless and I couldn't find any faults, apart from the missing tail camera, which was pretty frustrating for me. In times of COVID, Singapore Airlines provided face masks before the flight, which is appreciated. A full meal was provided on both flights, and it's good to see there was no cost cutting using the pandemic as an excuse, which some airlines do. Lastly, the seat design and comfort was great, and the IFE had plenty of movie options and was up to date and easy to navigate. I would definitely recommend Singapore Airlines given the price is reasonable. Anyways, that's all for today. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. And until next time.